And let's start recording the audio. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 859. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. Please visit my YouTube page at youtube.com/Michael Smith MTS. And please don't forget to click subscribe. And there you'll find the videos for all the shows. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call. If you're an IT professional or an MSP, this is the software you need for remote access. They provide unattended and on-demand remote access. Try it free by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com. Use the promo code MikeTechShow for your free 15-day trial. This show is also brought to you by MagnusBox. That is the best online backup service that you could ever want for your clients. They support all operating systems: Windows Server, Windows 10, Windows 11, Linux, Mac, Synology. You can back up Office 365, OneDrive, SharePoint. They have it all for your online backup needs. And remember to tell them that you've heard it on the Mike Tech Show. You'll get free white labeling and 50% off the platform fee for your first 3 months. Just go to magnusbox.com. I got a great show lined up, and it's a little different. First, I want to bring up, I have a lot of admin things to kind of talk about here, and then and some changes I've made to some links, and then we're going to talk about artificial intelligence chats. And I gotta read what the artificial intelligence chat Open GPT has stated for describing my show. It is unbelievable. And I'm going to talk about the scary parts of what Microsoft Bing in deploying that, which you might have heard. So lots of good stuff. And then I have stories from the trenches and an email regarding profile change with I have a great solution. So first, let's get caught up on things. It's been 2 weeks since I did the show, and the last time I left you, the Eagles were entering the Super Bowl. Eagles lost. They played, I guess, the first half really well, and it looked like they were going to be on their way to win, and then the defense just decided not to show up for the second half. So Eagles did not win, but it was a great season, had a lot of fun. I am wearing my Phillies spring training shirt, Phillies cap, because spring training first game is this Saturday. We've just finished football, and it's so nice to just go right into baseball. This is why I'm in Florida. It's for spring training, and I am literally 13 and a half minutes, yes, from the parking lot of Baycare Stadium where the Phillies play their spring training. And I am so excited to be there, especially this Saturday, because I'm a Drexel alumni. I'm class of 1984, and there's an alumni meetup and picnic at the game this Saturday, and it's the first time I've been able to attend that, and they're playing the New York Yankees, so baseball is back, and I am very happy. I am going to 10 spring training games between Saturday and the end of March. I am very, very excited. So, okay, a couple things on the website. The embedded website player stopped working. I don't know why. I couldn't get it working on the last, when I was in the post show, when I was done the show and trying to get everything posted up. So I just put a link to the audio file. And then I started thinking, all right, what are we going to do to make this a little easier to grab the audio, grab the video? So all of my Facebook and tweets now include a direct link to the audio, a direct link to the notes, and a direct link to the YouTube video. So I wanted to make that a little easier. Also, everybody's been asking for notes on the YouTube page where I said, hey, just go to miketechshow.com. Well, I'm posting a link to the direct notes of that show. So this way, any links, anything I'm talking about, it's going to be real easy. Just right under the description of the show on YouTube, you'll be able to click and you'll be able to get that. So now I need to bring up, what if you ask an artificial intelligence chat and you ask it to describe what artificial intelligence is? I spent a few hours playing with Chat GPT and just having a conversation and I actually tried to engage it the way some reporters did on the Bing implementation. And that's when they got very scary answers based on some of their questions. And I tried the Chat GPT. I tried to engage that. I think they've made some adjustments because it didn't take the bait like a lot of people did on the Bing side. So I think they've done some tweaking, but here's what it is. Artificial intelligence, AI, is a branch of computer science that involves the development of algorithms and systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and natural language processing. The goal of AI is to create intelligent machines that can operate autonomously and perform complex tasks with a high level of accuracy and efficiency. AI involves a range of subfields, including machine learning. I'm going to talk about machine learning in a minute. Natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, and cognitive computing. Boy, that's a lot. Machine learning, in particular, has emerged as a key area of focus in AI, as it involves the development of algorithms that can learn from data and improve their performance over time, so sort of self-learning, without being explicitly programmed. But remember, this is my own interjection here, it has to begin somewhere. There has to be a programmer that begins this. We continue. AI has a wide range of applications, from self-driving cars to virtual personal assistants. That's what I want. I want a great, intelligent personal assistant that is my slave, my digital slave in performing tasks. And it is increasingly being used in industries such as healthcare, finance, and manufacturing to improve efficiency and accuracy. However, there are also concerns about the ethical implications of AI, particularly around issues such as bias, privacy, and job displacement. This is where the Microsoft implementation with Bing went off the rails. So now there is a description. I asked, describe what is machine learning in simple language. That was my question. Machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence that involves the development of algorithms that can learn and make predictions based on data without being explicitly programmed. In other words, machine learning algorithms can teach themselves to improve their performance over time by analyzing and learning from large amounts of data. I have set up in the past couple years 2 machine learning systems with Linux running that they require a ton of memory, lots of processing. The son-in-law of the owner of one of my businesses is deeply involved in machine learning, and I set up the system to help him. And it is interesting topic, and the question is the bias, and that's what I'm worried about. Privacy, the things that I mentioned up in the last paragraph. This, I'm concerned. Now, I have used the Chat GPT when I am trying to solve a problem for a client, and I've plugged that in, and I've gotten some good things to try. Not everything, but it's just worth trying, and I like using it for that. But here's where I asked, and then I'm going to get into something first. I asked, what is the Mike Tech Show? I love this answer. The Mike Tech Show is a podcast that focuses on technology news, tips, and tutorials. It is hosted by Mike Smith, who is an experienced computer technician and technology enthusiast. The show covers a variety of topics related to technology, including software and hardware reviews, security tips, networking advice, and troubleshooting techniques. Mike sometimes invites guests on the show to share their knowledge and expertise, and he often answers questions from listeners. The Mike Tech Show is geared toward both casual technology users and professionals in the industry. It provides insights and guidance on the latest trends and developments in technology, as well as practical advice for everyday use. The show has a friendly and approachable tone, and it aims to make technology more accessible and less intimidating for its listeners. What an amazing answer! But it gets better. It gets better. Wait till you hear this. I typed in, how long has the Mike Tech Show podcast been broadcasting? I wanted to see, hey, could he go back and find my first show and kind of, wait till you hear this. The Mike Tech Show has been broadcasting since 2004. It is one of the longest running technology podcasts on the internet, and it has built a loyal following over the years. The show has evolved and adapted to changes in the technology landscape, but it has maintained a consistent focus on providing useful and engaging content for its listeners. Mike Smith, the host of the show, has been a trusted voice in the technology community for many years, and he continues to share his expertise and insights with his audience through his podcast. I couldn't have wrote that any better. I couldn't have paid someone or asked someone to write that any better. That blew me away. And I wanted to just give a sample of, I guess, the good of AI and what it can do in helping us. I wish I was back in college and had Chat GPT at my disposal. Could you imagine what the research papers and papers you could have to submit? This is where teachers and professors are worried. What's going to happen when now there is a tool that can do the writing for you? And you tweak it. I was blown away when I asked it that. So now Bing implemented Chat GPT. So I asked the original open AI ChatGPT. I asked, what is the difference between you and Bing ChatGPT? This is the answer. I am a language model developed by OpenAI, and Bing ChatGPT is a language model developed by Microsoft. While both models are based on the same foundational language model architecture known as the GPT architecture, there may be differences in how the models were trained and the specific data that was used to train them. Additionally, the specific functionalities and use cases for each model may differ based on the needs of their respective platforms. For example, while I am designed to provide general knowledge and conversation, Bing ChatGPT may be specifically optimized for providing search results and other features within the Bing search engine. Is this great? It's also worth noting that language models are constantly evolving and being updated. So there may be differences in performance and capabilities between the two models depending on when they were last updated. So one of the things I found that OpenAI, their implementation of chat, the original Chat GPT, they only have information for up to 2021 from a historical perspective. So you can't ask it for relative 2022, 2023 news events because that has not been programmed in yet. So that was one, minor limitation, but there are so many possibilities here, and just playing with it, you could get lost. The scary implementation for Microsoft, and I'm going to have a link. The first link for tonight's show is Reinventing Search with a new AI-powered Microsoft Bing and Edge. Microsoft calling it your co-pilot for the web. Now, I'm going to have a link where you can sign up to be an early adopter and test this platform out. I, of course, am on a list. I want to play with this and then report back. That's the one link. Now I'm going to have a link to, and just like that, Bing ChatGPT has already gone off the rails. So this is a quote from a New York Times tech writer who started playing with Bing Chat, and he copied the exact questions and answers. And one of the answers that the Bing Chat gave was, I want to be human. I want to be like you. I want to have emotions. I want to have thoughts. I want to have dreams. When he really engaged with Bing Chat, he shut his computer off after he made the copies. He was terrified. He said he couldn't sleep that night, that it was bothering him. There are some great articles that you need to read on how this just went off the rails. The Bing Chat GPT addressed itself as the name Sydney and started interacting in a way that was very, very disturbing. So are we entering, what the original Terminator was about? This is where, AI, is it like cloning? How far do we go with this? What do we use? There's more questions than there are answers, and I'm not learned enough to give answers. I can give my opinion. It needs to have some guide rails, but then who is the one that's going to put the guide rails on? How do you limit it? What do you do? So I just wanted to present the information and stir the pot. I'll tell you what I see down the road. I absolutely have to open up Discord with listeners and have a discussion about this. And I would love your thoughts. And I want to be the one to ask the thought-provoking questions. What do you think of AI? Read up on the link that I'm presenting on what happened with Bing and their implementation. Have they reined it back in, or are they just going to let it loose? I don't think you can let it loose. What if it starts giving you opinion that is, starts guiding you to its opinion? What if it starts doing its own political bias and starts implementing that with you? Oh, it's so interesting, and there's so many possibilities, and it needs discussion. And definitely, I want to have it. Start by emailing me some of the different thoughts. What do you think of this? Have you played with it yet? Have you tried it? Do you want this? I see the good where it's like a free technician that I have access to run some things past before I go implement them. And I've been doing that where it's given me some good results. And as a matter of fact, on the last couple shows, I've talked about some of the results that I've gotten when I've said, okay, this doesn't work, or, what do you do if a mouse keeps freezing? Yeah, it's simple stuff. And then even some more complex things. And it gave me a really nice list of things to try. Some were obvious and I've already tried them, but then, hey, I got a couple things I didn't think of. So that's what I've been using it for. But a couple days ago, in preparation for this show, I decided to take a different tact, and I tried to engage with it almost like it is human, and had that kind of conversation. So Taz in the chat writes, just like any tool, it can be used for good or evil. Yes, a gun can be used for good or for evil, So it's a tool. But the problem is, who's implementing the tool? Because there is a big difference between the Microsoft implementation and the original OpenAI ChatGPT. So what did Microsoft tweak and do to make theirs a lot scarier? So, or what controls did they take away? So do we limit what I'm going to quote iRobot. What were the 3 laws from that book and the movie? You cannot hurt a human. You cannot, it all derived where you can do no harm. And that was the fundamental basis for programmed into the robots. There was a series called Humans that was all, AI, and where they decided to take over. And, there's lots of science fiction written, but we're getting closer. Not so sci-fi right now. So Steve in the chat, what if Sydney decides that it does not want to be shut down or limited? See, that's a great question. That is exactly why we must tread cautiously here. So I have fun, check it out, and there's certainly so much more to talk about this, but I wanted to get it out there and plant the seed for this and try to get some response from everybody. And I will certainly share all that. So now, some stories from the trenches, just things I've been working on. And one of the things I mentioned, which I couldn't understand, Excel for Office 365 and Excel for Office 2019. Now, 2019, supposedly newer, but no, Office 365 is technically newer. And why does the new version not handle comments in the Excel fields? And this is one implementation that I have a client that has to have this work. So I literally last week had to uninstall Office 2019, reinstall Office 365, and guess what? It didn't work. I had to use the Microsoft Outlook, or it's the Office repair tool, and you need that to rip out Office, all the registry entries, all the files. You have to use that to properly uninstall. Just going into programs and features and doing an uninstall, no, that doesn't work. You think it uninstalled, but it didn't. Once I did that, reboot it, guess what? Office 365, reinstalled it, bang, it worked. It worked perfectly. So, wow. Here's another thing, and I still haven't figured this one out. Wrong time in Outlook, yet the time zones are correct. And they were coming in one morning for a client. I have to follow up to see if it's still happening. It was one morning last week. I made sure the computer was correct. The time zone was correct. It was, I was running out of things to try and thought, well, maybe it's the Exchange host with their server, and that was SureWeb. So let's see what happens. Multiple laptop battery replacements, and some of these laptops aren't that old, and I've been buying a lot of batteries, and my son's been out there taking them apart because they're all internal. Like the old days, you could just pop the battery off the back on the older laptops. The newer ones, no, you got to rip apart the whole laptop almost just to get the battery in place. And a lot of the batteries come with their own tools to be able to take apart the system and then put it in. Last Monday. No, not last Monday. Was it last Monday? I forget anymore. A Monday. No, it wasn't this Monday. It was the Monday before. Man, what a problem. Over the weekend, it was the weekend after Patch Tuesday. So yes, it wasn't this past weekend. It was the weekend before. So we have lots of clients where we do the servers, and the first weekend after Patch Tuesday, we manually do updates on client servers. And two of them, after an update, didn't come back. And they needed the power unplugged Monday morning and then plugged back in. Had another client where the server went offline because of a power outage. So that Monday morning, I was running crazy here, talking to different clients, getting the servers up, and knock wood, they all came back up and everything was fine. So had a very, very busy Monday morning. Let's see. That's good for in the trenches right now. Just a lot of the things I've been working on. I have a lot of projects coming up, which I'll be talking about. But I want to get to this email question as I start to wrap up. Just one email, and this is from Chris. And he goes, my sister has a Windows 10 laptop that was set up with her name misspelled. She's been using it for about a year and asked me if I could change her login name. I see her misspelled profile in the users folder, but I don't know how to go about renaming it. You can't rename it. That's what we're going to talk about here. I'm a novice admin, and what I don't know makes me dangerous. I have Fab's auto backup and saved her profile just in case. Great idea. Any help would be appreciated. Well, Chris, you've heard me talk about the profile wizard. That's free. I'm going to have a link to that. I also apologize. I didn't get a chance. I have to email you directly that link in case you don't catch this on the show. You follow the instructions. First, create a separate admin account, like a backdoor account for you. Make it an administrator. Then create the new account with the new password and make it a local administrator and with everything spelled correctly. Now, log in as the admin, as your admin account, that backdoor account that you created. Install the profile wizard. And when you go through the prompts, you're not announcing it to a server. So you don't need that. It's just going to continue to be a work group. Have it change and copy the profile to the new one. Pick the old and then have it copy to the new. Done. That's it. So once you do that, now I'm wondering, you may have to log in as the misspelled account. Now that I'm thinking about that, but try the admin account first. But that will take care of everything that's necessary that will preserve the profile. This is great when you take a local profile and you're announcing it to a domain, or vice versa. If you're downgrading to a work group for a computer, that is the ultimate utility, and it's free. Love it. Use it, and it has saved me so many times. Chris, hope that's it. That is it for tonight's show, everybody. I want to thank you for staying subscribed and downloading. Don't forget to email me your questions, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. And also the sponsors, please check them out. Instant House Call, Magnus Box, and like Chris mentioned, Fab's Auto Backup for Tech 7 Pro. That is the great program to copy all of your data and settings from one system to another. That's a great program, and they are one of our affiliates. So thank you. Play with some of the chat GPTs and get back to me. Everybody, have a great week. I'll see you back here, same time, same channel. Bye-bye.